the oldest or perhaps the second oldest engineering institution in the country. And perhaps this is the last one in its present avatar. This is a momentous occasion for BESU, which is the first institution to be upgraded to the ranks of the Indian Institutes of Engineering, Science and Technology. The IIESTs are aiming for the stars, and they are intended to meet not only the increasing demand for high quality technological and for a high quality and technological workforce, but more important, meet the growing need for qualified personnel in research and development. No institution in India is better qualified, therefore, to receive the accolade of being an IIEST. Congratulations. The IIESTs, unlike the IISERs, were to be created by upgrading existing engineering colleges or universities under the various state governments through an act of parliament, and thereafter granted the status of institutes of national importance. 5 universities had been selected initially for upgradation to become IIESTs, and it is fitting that BESU topped the list among those shortlisted to be accorded the status of an IIEST. It is also a measure of the farsightedness of the West Bengal government that unlike certain other states, it was willing to part with the jewel in its crown so that it could be accorded the status of an IIEST. Along with this come a host of benefits which would help strengthen the technological fibre of Bengal, which has always been a leader in the field of technology. I shall not dwell here on the host of additional facilities that would become available with BESU becoming an IIEST. But it gladdens my heart, and I am sure of every well-wisher of Bengal and the nation, that the institution would now receive huge research grants, be able to set up new state-of-the-art laboratories, improve its infrastructure, and most vitally, get the best faculty available in the country or anywhere in the world. I congratulate BESU, its Vice Chancellor, its management, its faculty, and the students on this great distinction that has been conferred on this university. February 19, 2014 is therefore a red letter day in the history of an institution that for more than 150 years has blazed a trail across India and left its imprint on the world of engineering and technology across the world. I must confess, however, that I feel saddened that BESU would no longer be part of the stable of universities that I preside over as a Chancellor. I, however, reconcile myself to this loss for the sake of the greater good of Bengal, of India, and of the world at large. For me, this is a special convocation for several other reasons as well. The chief guest, Professor Rondam Narasimhan, and the 3 recipients of the doctorates honoris causa are individuals whom I have admired for many years and can even claim a degree of acquaintanceship or friendship. I hope they will agree with that. Of the 4, my oldest acquaintance is Professor Rondam Narasimhan, who has been widely acclaimed for his contributions to science. He is a fellow of the Royal Society, fellow of all the National Academies of Science and Engineering in India, a Bhatnagar Prize winner, a recipient of the Padma Vibhushan, India's second highest civilian award. The Honorable Vice Chancellor has mentioned his many achievements, but for me, I think Professor Narasimhan's most vital or most stupendous contribution has been in initiating and overseeing the major technical programs, especially those relating to the design and development of India's light combat aircraft, the LCA. Thank you, Professor Narasimha, for what you've done. As the Vice Chancellor said a few minutes ago, I cannot think that on an occasion like this, when BESU is undergoing a major transformation, we have someone like Professor Narasimha to deliver the convocation address. And the outgoing graduates are indeed fortunate to have someone of his eminence giving the convocation address. I am similarly privileged to have known Dr. K. Radhakrishnan during my years as a National Security Advisor when we worked closely together on India's space program. Thank you, Dr. Radhakrishnan, for accepting our request to accept an honorary there. Dr. Radhakrishnan is one of India's foremost space scientists, and under his stewardship, India has successfully executed 29 space missions, an unprecedented accomplishment in its history. I'm not sure that the number is right, but presumably it is. His role in building an Indian cryogenic engine is part of space lore. India's first planetary exploration, the Mars Orbiter mission, was conceived, planned and executed under his leadership. And he tells me it is now complete, it is only 18.5 million miles away radio distance from Earth. He was recently conferred the Padma Bhushan for his outstanding contribution to science and engineering in India. Professor Balaram is a molecular biophysicist whose academic and scientific credentials are equally awe-inspiring. A Bhatnagar Prize winner, he is the author of over 400 research papers and is a fellow, as the Vice Chancellor said, of several or all the academies of science. He was conferred the Padma Bhushan on the occasion of Republic Day 2014. What can I say about Dada Ganguly? I didn't realize that the Vice Chancellor, whom I thought was only an academic, knew so much about cricket. So he's taken away everything about the most successful captain, and that I can only say Dada is a legend in our time. And I thank him for accepting our offer of PhD honoris causa. The Vice Chancellor has already dealt with the many achievements of BESU during the 12 months since the last convocation. Suffice it is for me to say that BESU's research in areas such as renewable energy, water technology, medical science and technology, and advanced material and steel technology reflect its commitment to the cause of science and to the progress of our country and the state. Some of the research programs, such as the Solar City program, and the development of special solar PV modules and related accessories for various solar applications are certain to have a profound impact on our lives. I also compliment many of the university faculty who have received accolades. And I repeat what the Vice Chancellor said about the distinction achieved by Professor Chattopadhyay and Professor Sabyasachi Sarkar. The former for becoming the National Metallurgist of the year 2013, and the latter for being elected as a Fellow of the Royal Society of Chemistry, UK. Finally, I feel, as I said, sorry that this is perhaps the last convocation that I shall be addressing as a Chancellor. BESU is a great university. I think it was on the last occasion I said that for me, one of the great achievements of the institution was the way it transformed itself. An institution which was for a number of years racked by problems suddenly became, as I said, the jewel in India's crown for its progress in every field. I think it is a compliment to the students, the faculty, the management, and especially the Vice Chancellor, that such a transformation took place. At several convocations, I have repeated that I would like those institutions to follow in the footsteps of BESU. I was not particularly popular with them, but I hope I'm popular with you all on this subject. To the outgoing graduates, I would only say that you are the future. You are our hope. You should hence keep in mind the highest traditions of the institution that has nurtured you for the last few years and from which you have just graduated. You must also adhere to the civilizational values which have made our country what it is today. And finally, keep your head high and go forth and rule the world. Thank you. Mr. Vice Chancellor, please propose and present the persons for conferment of the honorary degrees.
Sir,